Hello everybody, today I'm going to teach you how to play top lane, or at least the basics of top lane. So first of all, I'm going to start with my character. I'm playing Garen, which is one of the most simplest characters and best characters to learn top lane. So, the first thing you want to do once you get the game is talk about your items, right? Usually there's these two items in the store, right? In the recommended tab. You can also go to all items to get your items, right? So, I'm going to explain how these items can affect your game. If you're playing a very mana champion and you really want to stack mana, you're going to have to buy this item. It's called Tear of Goddess. If you think you can fight early game, you could just get a Doran's Blade. If you want to defend, or you think you're just going to farm early game, you can get Doran's Shield, because it's very good against poke champions. So if you're playing against Teemo, Quinn, things like that, Doran's Shield is one of the best items to play on. And then Ko is a very farm-oriented item. So if you really exactly just want to farm, like let's say you're playing Nasus and you believe that the enemy is not making anything poking or anything like that, you can just buy Ko. Let me just
in the king's name
toggle the fucking minion spawn first. There you go. So now I'm gonna buy a Doran's Blade and a health potion to get in the lane, right? You always want to get a health potion. Health potion is very, very good because it saves you time. It saves you energy to go back to your base to heal up. It also gives you more duel potential because you can heal from duels, right? So first, let's walk to lane, right? Though my timer is only 155. Usually, when you start off the game, you have a jungler that wants a leash, right? So first, you gotta check if he wants to leash for the blue buff or he wants to leash for red buff over here, right? Now, when the game starts, you wanna as quickly as you can, go into one of these places, either here, here, or here. Though, if you do manage to get here, you might wanna be right around here in the edge, so that you can see if enemies are coming here and if enemies are coming down there, so that you won't get gank level 1. And then in here, you might want to stand a bit outside here, so you can at least see if enemies coming from here, coming from here. You might even want to stand a bit here to make sure that you can see that no one's passing through the bush, because they could go all the way behind you to gank you. That's a cheese strat, basically. Let me just also pause the timer. Can I pause the timer? Is that a thing? No, I can't pause the timer. Okay, who cares? So basically, in here you can also do the same thing. You might want to step a bit further out so you can see if anyone's coming here or here.
fear not.
So now that you're already guarding a place or area, the reason why you guard this place is because you want to scare enemies away from invading your jungler's camps. So let's talk about how you play with the jungle. Okay, because playing with the jungle starts off at a very early stage of the game. If he wants a leash here, you help him. You leash him probably until like 600, 500, right? Then you can leave, right? And the reason why leashing is so important because a lot of junglers, even though most of them can solo a buff, a lot of junglers can't actually do that effectively or efficiently. So they need your help to do it to get them rolling. Now, the fun part is when you're not leashing them. Instead, they're going bot lane, right? The usual jungle pathing for most champions is red, Raptors, Wolf, Blue, Gromp, Scuttle, right? Well, there will be a timestamp, but as long as your jungle is not disconnected, blah blah, you can tell that your jungler's top side by the time that the Scuttle Crab spawns, right? That's usually the normal jungle clear. Sometimes it might take them a bit of time. Sometimes they go here to Krugs, Raptors, and then all the way up. Sometimes they even go for level 2 gank, level 3 gank. They go to mid, and they go back to top side, get a blue, and then they get Scuttle Crab. So basically, the conclusion is that if they're reaching top, that means you're gonna help them top, and then they're gonna path towards bottom, which means by the time the Scuttle Crab arrives, they won't be there to help you. they'll be helping bottom side. The thing is, if they're starting from bottom side, that means they're gonna path all the way up to the top, and by the time the scuttle comes, that means that they are there and they are present, right?
I bring justice.
Now let's go back to our lane. Okay, let me just toggle minion spawn, and let me just fast forward 30 seconds. There you go.
Our deeds shape the
Now,
future.
one thing I want to show you is about wave management, or basically minion management. Okay, so let's say you want to have as many minions as possible, but you want your enemy to have the least minions as possible. Okay,
Needs hope.
and this is the best case scenario. Okay, hold on. Let me just kill his minions first. Oh, okay. Let me put a dummy. Let me put a dummy down. Let me put a dummy down. Enemy dummy. Okay. There you go. Now,
Oh, be just.
oh, where did I put it in? Okay. There you go. Okay. So now there's an enemy dummy, right? And then you have your minions here, right? What you want to do is stand close to the enemy, right? So you can scare them off, and then they can't get any minions, right? Or you get your minions yourself. So essentially, what you're doing is you're pushing them away from your minions so that they can't kill it, right? But you also get your own minions. You can also do a bit of poking, which you can back off. Garen is very good for poking because you have a lot of heal. You have a lot of regen. You have a lot of regen. Right. So that's one way to exploit enemy XP. Let me just remove this guy. There we go. That's one way to remove enemy XP. Now here, towers. Let's talk about tower diving. Okay. Usually what you want to do when you tower dive, of course you gotta wait for some minions, right? Sometimes it doesn't happen, but the best case scenario is that you wait for some minions and he's still in the tower, right? So I want to teach you a lot about the mechanics of tower diving. So what you usually want to do is attack the dummy when the tower is in the middle of shooting the minion, right? Because by that time your tower will have to shoot the minions twice before targeting to you. Whereas if you wait for the minion to only shoot after, it's gonna target you directly, right? Now you're losing a lot of health, blah. So another thing is that you can't flash out of the target range of the tower, right? So like you can flash out so that you won't get targeted, right? But if you're already targeted, it's already shot you, you can't flash out and then like not get damaged. You'll still get damaged.
Protect our land.
Okay, now that's playing on the best case scenario. That's playing on strong side of the map. That means that you're winning your lane. Possibly that's because your jungle's helping you, or possibly because the enemy's feeding, blah blah. Okay, let me just remove this dummy. And let's move mid lane. I'm going to teach you more about minion management. It varies from everywhere, honestly. Mid, bot, top, it's the same thing basically. It's just minion management, okay?
The first of many.
When you're playing weak side, the minions are pushing onto you, right? So basically when the minions are pushing onto you, that means that usually the enemy wants to back off, right? So let's say you're in a position where you want the enemy to stay, right? What you want to do is push as hard as you can, right? Push as hard as you can. Block, kill. So the reason why you kill the minions as fast as you can is that you stop them from going home and getting money, right? Or sometimes you even like stop them because they're low and they can't help the teammates. So instead they're gonna have to be stuck here, taking damage from minions, but you know they're not getting anything back, right? And you can push and push and push and give you plating, a lot of advantage, blah blah blah. Let's go back top.
Our courage must never waver.
Let's do the minions first. I'm gonna show you another trick, which is freezing the wave, right? So the way you freeze the wave here is you take as much time as you can killing the minions, right?
King's name.
So that the minions will be alive for longer and they will build up. So basically what building a freeze is that first, your enemy can't get any minions because all your minions are stacked in the back and they're right behind you, right? This is similar to the trick I used before where you stop the enemy from getting XP, but instead that was more of a aggressive move, while freezing can be done while you were in a safe position, right? So what freezing basically does,
those who cannot.
it builds up the enemy wave for a while, right? So it gives you more XP, and then it kills a bit of your wave so that your enemy can't get the XP and the gold. But it also builds up a lot of your minions
Never forget why we fight.
because while pushing by just pushing as fast as you can does bring the minions faster, right? Freezing actually brings more minions together in the same place. So let's say you want to build up a giant wave, right? Like, okay, let's say it's level 2 and you want to fight level 3, right? And you really want the minions to be on your side, right? So what you want to do is put a freeze around here or here, like put a freeze anywhere, right? Basically, as long as it doesn't extend to the enemy territory, you put a freeze of minions, and then slowly it will build up a lot of minions, right? And once you build up a lot of minions, there's so many options you can do. You can fight him while you have your minions. You can help your jungle take Scuttle, take fucking Rift Herald, right? You can help invade. You can help pressure mid even if you have enough time. And another cool thing about the freeze trick is it just helps so many players gain an advantage at level 2 or 3. So what you want to do is you put a freeze over here, and then you make a giant wave, and now your enemy has to deal with a giant wave. What do you do with that information? You go back to a bush, you recall, and boom. You'll be having a giant gold advantage, and your enemy that has been tanking a lot of minion damage and not being able to recall because you've already gone back with teleport, or even just running back because freezing the minion wave, making a huge wave here and pushing them into the enemy tower gives you enough time to go back, buy an item, and get back here while your enemy is just finished by dealing with the wave. So it saves you time, it saves you money, it saves you basically a lot of opportunities. Well, now you have a lot of opportunities. Like, let's say you don't want to go top anymore, right? You want to do a surprise lane gank, mid or bot, and you have your TP up, right? You can do that because even though your freeze, your wave has been killed off, it resets back to the middle, which means that your lane is safe now. You can TP once he pushes in, if he pushes in, because you know he also wants to get back, right? He killed a lot of minions, he takes a lot of damage, he won't be able to stay there for much longer unless you fight him or someone takes care of the lane. Which means that you put him at a disadvantage while putting yourself at an advantage.
I bring justice.
So basically, most of top lane is just wave management and fighting. You don't really do much about objectives, right? Like I said, if you want objective, push first, and then you help your friend get the objective. If your lane's getting pushed, unfortunately, you really need to clear the wave first, no matter how else you put it, because whatever objective is on the map, a wave and tower plating that the enemy can get is worth way more than any other fucking objective in the map. Maybe a Rift Herald might be somewhat in the same level. However, the thing about Rift Herald is that it's niche and you need to use it and you need time, a lot of time to kill it, right? So my best bet is, let's say your jungle is killing a topside Rift Herald, and unfortunately your lane is pushed up, right? Your lane's pushing in, and you're not playing a character that can clear the lane fast enough. Then honestly, just let it go, because I mean, unless the enemy is clueless, right, and they back off, and you can get it, you can for sure get it, right? But the priority is to get XP, keep your lane in check, and then you can help your teammates, right?
Our deeds shape the future.
Yeah, that's about it for top lane. A lot of things about fighting top lane or why you lose lane, besides the minion management, decision making, is basically how you play with the character, how to play against other characters. I'm gonna have to teach people kind of one by one about that, because there's a lot of characters and maybe questions. But essentially, other than that, the only thing I can tell you about top lane is your TP presence. It used to be way better when you had a normal teleport. We can teleport to minions even in level 1. But now that you've unleashed teleport, your TP presence only kind of translates to lane ganks pre 10 minutes. So your TP presence becomes really good only after 10 minutes because you can TP to minions. The reason why TP is so good, even though you think TP takes a long time to channel, it gives you a speed boost. So if you can, get your friend to put a ward up here, 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 here. Sorry, can I ping more? Oh no, let me ping. Around here basically, right? You can see my cursor. Basically, what it gives you is a lot of time to kill the enemy. So let's say, let me just TP down. Just TP down. Okay, I'll put a ward here. Okay. And
I stand ready.
these are my allies. Okay, these are my allies. 1, 2. Right. These are 2 of my allies, right? And let's forget about this wave of minion right here, and let's say like the minion is pushing in, right? And I'm gonna put an enemy dummy. Let's say the enemy dummies are over here.
Forge onward.
You can see these 2 people, right? Okay. Now that the wave is pushing in, right? What you wanna do is, let's go back top. First, you tell your First, you tell your team that you want to TP bot and prepare to fight, right? Make sure to get the message clear because communicating is one of the best things to do in League of Legends. League of Legends is a game of communication, and I feel like when you play this game and you're just screaming, it's bullshit. It doesn't feel fun. It feels way better if you're talking about it calmly, you're having fun on the way. And there's nothing wrong with having fun. It's just that I don't think screaming is the way. I mean, it depends on you, but basically, you tell your teammates, "Hey, I'm gonna get a gank," right? So, what your teammates are supposed to do are move a bit forward, right? Just a bit forward, right? The enemies will still be here because they think they just want to fight, right? And you TP in, and the enemies will start running, and then you tell your team to directly follow you up, right? So now, in the perfect scenario, let me just click target enemies. The enemy will be around here. Your teammates may be around here, and you're already here, ready to fight them. Like you're ready to slow, you're ready to silence them, do as much shit as you can, right? Basically, that's it. It'll work for mid lane. It works for top lane if someone's taking over your wave, right? If you're switching lanes. Oh, yeah. And another thing is that if your lane is absolutely unbearable and you believe that there's no reason, no way that you can win lane, time your TP with one of your allies, right, in the same time so that you can switch lanes. So you go bottom and then your bottom goes top, or mid, blah blah, vice versa, blah blah. So that's basically all about top lane. That's the basics. Thank you for watching.